I've had my macro lens for about a year, something like that. And in that time, one thing I've realized that I enjoy doing is kind of revisiting photos that I took years ago. And not to recreate them, but to rethink how I originally shot them or take another shot inspired by the original. And that's what happened here. We have these trees on campus at the Oklahoma State University campus called Golden Rain trees, and their seed pods look super cool. They're well, it is what you see here, but it's like three-dimensional. It's not a leaf. It's like this hollow, it's almost like a balloon. They're hanging from the tree branches, and the leaves fall away, but they leave all these pods, and they're super cool. They like crunch a little bit. And I never saw these before moving to Oklahoma, or if I did, I didn't pay any attention. And they make for cool photo subjects. And years ago, I'm talking like summer of 2013 probably, I posted a picture of some of these golden rain tree seeds, and they were yellow. They were on the ground. It was kind of a wet, overcast day, and it was with my D200 and my 50 millimeter lens and nothing else. And ever since then, I have tried to pay attention to these golden rain tree seeds when I see them and think about how they would look for pictures. And I've taken some other pictures of them. And when I saw this particular seed pod, I thought of that original from 2013. So that's like 9 years ago. And I didn't set out to copy it, but I thought, you know what, that it was fun to take that picture. I wonder if I could take another picture of golden rain tree seeds kind of inspired by the original. And the idea was to get this one seed pod in sharp focus, but have additional context. And as you know, as I've said 100 times on Weekly 50, I'm a big believer in context. So I used my macro lens to get really close to this. I don't know how far away I was. I think this whole thing is about an inch tall, and that means there's about maybe 2 inches of vertical space shown in the frame. So I don't know, I was probably about 12 inches away. I really don't know. But I wanted to get this seed pod in focus, but also have something else. And I took a few shots that were just the seed pod, and it wasn't interesting at all because it was just this like red, what looked like a leaf floating in the midst of nothing. So I backed up a little bit and I adjusted my view until I could get that branch in the background, like receding into the background. I shot this at f8. And even at f8, you can see there's still like a little bit of depth of field issues going on at the very bottom, at the lower portion of the photo on this seed. You can see it's a little out of focus. That's because I wanted to nail focus on that center portion. And in just like the 1/8 of an inch front to back distance between the focal plane where everything is in focus and the background where things start to become out of focus, even that tiny little distance was enough to make the bottom of the seed out of focus. I shot this at, 1/200th of a second shutter, ISO 320 to get a nice clean shot. I really wanted that clean shot. I didn't necessarily need ISO 100, but I did want to get kind of a lower ISO to get the photo exactly how I wanted it without any compromise in terms of noise or grain. I shot this with my D750, again, to get a nice clean shot. And what really works for me is that branch receding into the background. I think that adds a nice sense of where this is, how big it is, what else is going on. We can see there's no other leaves on the branch. Even the colors, we have this bright red, but then there's the browns and the yellows of the branch, and then the yellows and the greens behind it. I think this is a nice complete composition. And one thing I'm kind of proud of is I didn't crop this at all. This is exactly how it was. I tweaked the colors just a little bit in Lightroom, but this is uncropped. And I think I'm getting a little better at that sense of cropping in camera. And to be clear, I don't want to be one of those photographers who's like, I never crop my images. I think that's one of the main benefits of digital photography. We can crop our images. You shouldn't have to feel like you can't crop your images, but it is fun to be able to take a photo and have it turn out without any cropping at all.